Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean Smith. We're going to talk about tonight's big win over the New Jersey Devils. We're not going to get into specifics. Charlie's already given you a full recap of the game, but here's what I want to talk about. You know, the Predators had a huge team meeting. Coaches called it, players led it on Saturday. As a result, the team kind of made some admissions, took some accountability. All the leaders on the team, the members of the leadership committee, captains, assistant captains, associate captains, that entire crew. Anybody that has a voice on the team as far as leadership goes stood up and said something. Now, my site mate Alex Doherty here at A to Z Sports wrote about that meeting, what the players were willing to tell him, but not much other information was available. Although it seemed like that once those players took accountability, the team kind of made a recommitment to playing the games the way they needed to play. That loss in St. Louis was a really big turning point for the team. So what ends up happening, of course, is you have a win Saturday, and then the players had two big games this week, Tuesday and Thursday night, against teams that were at the tops of their respective divisions. Talking about the Winnipeg Jets on Tuesday and the New Jersey Devils tonight. Now, what's interesting about that is there's been a lot of criticism levied at this team over the season that they can't beat good teams. And of course, those good teams are the teams that year after year, when the Predators are able to squeak into the playoffs, they get bounced in the first round by those teams that end up going pretty deep into the playoffs. Last season, Colorado Avalanche ended up winning the Stanley Cup, and that's who took them out in 4 games. Now, here's the thing. The Predators, at this point in the season, are going to have to scratch and claw their way into the playoffs. And if they're going to scratch and claw their way into the playoffs, they've got to be able to win against good teams because you're going to go up against one of the top seeds in that first round. Now, with these 2 games against these top teams, Winnipeg and New Jersey, which feels a little weird saying that, but still, these 2 top teams, Winnipeg and New Jersey, this was an opportunity for the Predators to take that momentum from their team meeting and their win on Saturday to say, hey, we can play and beat good teams too, and give everybody a little bit of hope that maybe if they're able to make it to the playoffs, they can make a little bit of noise and not get bounced in the first round. And what a response. Big win on Tuesday over Winnipeg, even bigger win tonight over the New Jersey Devils. And it seems like, you know, looking at the article I wrote earlier this week, that the Predators had a lot to prove over these last 2 games. I think they've done a lot of proving. Now, does that mean they're a playoff team? No. They're not in a playoff spot right now. The team's well aware of that. Coach John Hines spoke about that after the game tonight. They're not in a good place. They're in a better place than they were, but they need to keep working to get closer to where they need to be. He says you'd rather be hot coming down the end of the season, down that home stretch, than you would at the beginning of the season. He said last season they started off kind of hot, then had to scratch and claw, barely made it in the playoffs, limped in the playoffs, literally, and then got booted pretty quick. So here's the thing. I think the Predators have done an excellent job responding. The team, the leaders on the team taking accountability. And what was most interesting tonight was a question was asked to Roman Josi, captain of the team, who it was, you know, what were some words that were shared. And he said that you'd want to talk to Johansson. Johansson said the thing that was the best. And of course, he wouldn't share what that was. Matt Duchene was asked if Johansson made a big impact in that meeting, and he, of course, agreed. And when asked what it was that Johansson said, he said, that's for us to worry about. That's a thing for us. You guys don't need to worry about it. He was laughing when he said it. But then even Coach John Hines, when asked about it, agreed that Ryan Johansson and his comments and what he said, it was the right thing at the right time, really rallied the team, motivated the team, and you see the results over the past few games. So, Charlie, Renegades, tell you what, if you're going to go into an all-star break, this is the way to go. Riding high, a couple of big wins against good teams. All you got to hope is that when they come back from a long break, they perform better than they usually do after a break, which isn't very good. So keep your fingers crossed. Enjoy the break. Renegades, it's good to see you. Charlie, let's send it back over to you.